Joe's. Today I am going to do the rapid fire Q&A book tag. So I have only seen a couple of these videos and I'm just copying and pasting, so I don't even know most of the questions. But first of all, thank you for liking and subscribing my videos. I think as of publishing this, I will have surpassed 300 subscribers. So thank you for that.
Gar, Joe's be the only place for Steve. Gar, you're right!
I mentioned in a couple of past videos that I do want to do a actual Q&A for me. So besides this rapid fire Q&A, I actually want like you guys to ask me any questions, and then I will do a Q&A episode. So still looking for a bunch more questions. I've only gotten a handful here and there from Discord, but if you have any questions, feel free to either DM me on Discord or put them in the comments below, and I will add those to the questions. And when I feel like I have enough Q&A questions to I will make the video and I'll put that out there. So ask me anything, Q&A, whatever you want. And now, so jumping into the book tag. So,
good people who have traveled from villages near and far, lend me your ears.
So there are 49 questions. Really, there's technically 49 questions. So, all right, hardback or paperback? Don't care. I am not a book stickler, so I will do both. I guess I'd prefer paperback because it's easier to hold with one hand. Ebooks or physical copies? Probably side with ebooks. That's what I started with. I have my Kindle. I love my Kindle. I read Kindle Unlimited, and I can just take that anywhere. And for how much we travel and like reading in bed, it's superior. Secondhand or new copies? Secondhand. I'm a cheapo book buyer. I don't care, bargain. These are all from secondhand stores. At least this middle section is a bunch of used ones. The story's all the same. I don't care if somebody's held it, whatever, tabbed it. Yeah, audiobooks or nah? Yes, audiobooks, 100%. Not my superior, not the number one way I read, but probably about a quarter of the books I read per year are audiobooks. I always do my nonfiction through audiobooks, and I have other fillers that I put in there, but some of them I won't do audio because I just need to be more engaged. I'm gonna have a hard time keeping up. All right. Do you cover by? Yes, 100%. I think that's the first step to pull you in. You look at the cover. Now I will cover pick up actually and look at the synopsis and check it out and then look at reviews. So I'm not like an impulse, oh, this is a great cover, I'm going to buy it. I actually check it out because, you can get burned that way. Your favorite cover that you own? No idea, honestly. I only own about 40% physical books. The rest of the books that I own are digital. As far as covers go, I don't really know. These Legacy of Seal, Legacy of Ash, pretty good. These are just the ones I can see, honestly. So that's not really great for me, but that's just, I think the best covers I own will probably be ones that were on digital, but I don't even have all my books in the same place. There's some here, there's some downstairs, there's some down there. There's another place downstairs. There's some back in the States, all over the place. Least favorite cover you own? Probably going to be one of these older mass market paperbacks of sorts. Hearts in Atlantis is kind of whatever, bland. Some of these Michael Crichton are just like classic cheesy sci-fi. They just throw the title on there and a picture real quick. So probably one of those. First book you ever read? Probably one that I read. I was an adult. I didn't start reading books until I was older. I think it was one that was about. It was for the military. I had. We have career progressions, and each year you have to do a self-development section. And one of the things that was you're able to read books off of the Chiefs list. And I read a book that was about, I believe it was Osama bin Laden's niece or something like that. Very different but interesting book. And then I guess for fantasy sci-fi and stuff like that, it would be Harry Potter and Half-Blood Prince, because yes, I started the books after the movies. After I caught up to the movies, it was like, oh, well, this is the next book out. I can't wait for the movie, so I'll just pick this up while I'm on gate guard duty. Last book you finished? Nightmare Land, Nightfall by in the Nightmare Land Chronicles book, series novella. Fantastic, really, really good. Recommend on Kindle Unlimited. Last series you finished? This isn't very rapid, is it? I'm in the middle of a bunch of series right now, so I have no idea what was the last time I actually finished. Probably Ash and Sand back in June, I think, or like late May. Yeah, I think it was Ash and Sand. Kings of Heaven was the was the third book in the trilogy. Would probably be it. The other ones I'm all in the middle of, or I just haven't continued yet. Sebastian Stan, and it went straight to my top three of my all-time series list. So yeah, last book you bought. So Audible just had a bunch of sales. I just picked up they had a 2-for-1, spend one credit, get 2 books. I picked up a bunch of books through that. That was just like randomly going through. But actual books for Kindle, I picked up the Empires of Dust series, all 3 books, because I was just scrolling through every once in a while. I get on Amazon and I'll see what's on sale. And I saw a couple of these books were really cheap. I think I got all 3, the trilogy, for like $9. Especially pretty grimdark. I do love grimdark. The ratings aren't like the best, but I think it's just might be too dark for some people from what it seems. What is your favorite genre? Fantasy? Yeah, I think that's predominantly. What's your favorite book in that genre? Anything by John Gwynne would probably be that. He's on the top of most of my lists. What genre do you never reach for? Oh, that's a lot. Contemporary, romance, nonfiction that isn't like non self-help or whatever. Memoirs, biographies, straight history, poems. Those are all things I just do not read. Do you read? Next question. Do you read poetry? Nope. Popular science. Is that a question? I don't know if that's a question. Popular science. Alan, I'm looking at you. I just copied and pasted my questions from you, and I don't know what that is. So I'm going to move on. Middle grade. Yes, I do read some middle grade. Outside of Harry Potter, I've mentioned I'll get there. Keepers of the Lost Cities. I mentioned that series. It is good, especially for middle grade. Very atmospheric. I've also read the Green Glass House. Really good, like folly. Actually, really good, like Christmassy winter read. Atmospheric and a good mystery to it. What is your favorite bookish item? I don't own bookish items. I own books. And then even when I'm done with the books, we unhaul. We're not collectors or anything like that. I don't have any bookish items. I guess my Kindle would be a bookish item because it's not technically a book. It is a device. So my Kindle. What is your current bookmark? I think it's just, I used to get book of the month boxes for a while. And like every time you buy one of those boxes, they just have one of these standard blue and white rectangle bookmarks, and they have little words or quotes on them. But like, it's just, I don't really care about bookmarks. At least I don't really have anything that are special. What's the strangest object you've used as a bookmark? Probably a receipt. I've used receipts before if they're just laying around kind of thing. Or like traveling, if I picked up a book and it was just like, oh, well, I don't have my bookmarks here, so I'll just use the receipt that I bought the book in. Not really that strange. Book jackets or nah. I take mine off. If I read one that's hardback, if I'm reading it, I take the jackets off and just set them off to the side or on the shelf, because I'm not going to hold it. It gets all just weird, and then I don't want to ruin it. Who's your nonfiction boyfriend or fictional boyfriend? Next, dumb. Favorite book couple? Can't really remember too many. The romance isn't something that I focus on series. I think there's one that we've talked about. Liz and I have talked about that. It was just got a very natural, nice romance because they were like very friendly and joked around. But I can't think of it because it just slips my mind. So I honestly can't think of a book couple. Book villain, favorite book villain, 24. So there's 2 different kinds of villain. There's villains that like you like the character, you're watching them, you understand their motives, you want to see what happens to them, and because you're like, they're just so fleshed out and good. And then there's the villains that you're just like, I want to see this person die and burn and be chopped into a million pieces and suffer. And pretty much any of the Faithful and the Fallen villains fall into the latter category. But the really good villain, I'm really bad with remembering many of these answers. I probably got to go with Jackal from Red Rising. I think he was really, really good. And like you hated him a lot. And then there's times he came through and like there's a little back and forth. But yeah, Jackal. Favorite book friendship? Probably Royce and Hadrian, just off the top of my head. And then the Greycoats as well, the 3 Greycoats. Series, trilogies, or standalones? I don't know. That's tough. Probably series. I think I've slowly gone more into series. Trilogies are much more approachable for sure, and I feel like even if I start a trilogy, I can space them out one every month. Series, sometimes I need to actually have a framework, so I probably cut the difference and go with trilogies. Standalones are hard to find really good standalones, and sometimes they can be hit or miss because there's not either you have to really get to the point or there's not enough time to build on certain things. But I'll probably go with Trilogies, as long as it is a fleshed out trilogy that is planned to be a trilogy and not just like middle book fluff. Weird reading habit. Don't think I have any. I don't think I have any weird reading habits, honestly. I use my Kindle to read in bed, but as of currently, that's all I'm reading with. Physical books are for during the day. What are some answers that people gave for this one? I don't even know what some weird reading habits would be. It's not very weird to not want to stop in the middle of a chapter. Like if I start a chapter, I have to finish it. Yeah, I don't think I have one. What's your favorite book adaptation per movie? I've not read Jurassic Park, so I can't exactly. There's not many things that I've read and seen. I guess you could probably say the first couple of seasons of Game of Thrones, maybe. Just getting through Harry Potter, so obviously those are going to be up high on the list. Ready Player One wasn't bad. I love the book. I understand why they couldn't do some of the things in the movie, and how they made it fresh in their own was pretty good. I think. I don't know if that many other adaptations because I haven't really read too many. Typically, if I've already seen it, the movie or the show or whatever, I'm not going to go back and read it. Like I said, I watched the first like 4 Harry Potter movies, and I was like, well, I'll just pick up book 5 because I already know what happens before this. I'm only just now reading those Harry Potter books, so yeah, I don't really go back and read things I've already seen, but I am slowly doing some, like Jurassic Park. I plan on doing. What's your favorite film adaptations or TV adaptations? Probably TV, 100%. I think when I did my my videos of books that should be filmed or books that shouldn't be adapted, most of the time I said it would be good for a show. Now, it doesn't have to be a long running show. Like if they start a show, it can almost be like the show Dark, where it's like, hey, we're going to do this for 3 seasons and then done. Like they need to like have an endpoint and don't just drag stuff out for way too long. Like I guess they did with Lost and so many other shows. Like have your start and end point, write it completely, and then be okay when it finishes. Don't suck as much money or viewership out as you can. So probably TV shows, because you can actually draw out everything from the book, but standalone books can just be movies. What book needs an adaptation? I might just link my video down. I forget which ones were on the top of my list of adaptations. That would be really, really good. Yeah, I can't even remember what those would be. I mean, Faithful and the Fallen would have to be toward the top. I mean, if they've already done Game of Thrones and they're going back to Game of Thrones, like instead of, obviously HBO probably couldn't do this, but hey, Netflix, Amazon, if you want to put actual good amount of money into this, you don't need any dragon budget. There's only like 1 or 2 animal companions and some other ones that will need some CGI, but not a dragon. Do Faithful and the Fallen. Stay true to the material, and just it would be fantastic. Favorite book world? I mean, it's got to be Harry Potter, right? Like it's atmosphere. We put on the ambiance music for Harry Potter all the time when we read. Other than that, other worlds that would be cool. I mean, I think it's just middle grade books for some reason have the best worlds, because I guess you give the kids something to escape, because Keepers of the Lost has an awesome world as well, very magical atmosphere. I just think of ones that I would enjoy going to myself. Favorite writing style? No idea. I couldn't even tell you what one writing style is. I'm a very on the surface, shallow type of book reader, to where give me a good plot, good characters, let's go. I don't want to debate, talk about any deeper meanings. I don't like poetic, flowery writing style. Just straightforward. Give me a good story. What is a book that you love that people don't know about? The Rook probably is the biggest one. There's only a couple of people that have actually commented on I did a why you should read The Rook. So The Rook is definitely one that I think more people should try out and read. It's probably not going to be for everyone, especially ones that like slower, more character building. It's an urban fantasy standalone book basically, and there's humor in it. I think it's really, really fun. What's a popular book that you hate? Hate's a strong word, but I guess I'll go with Man in the High Castle. It's just fairly popular to some. I guess it's not like super popular to everyone. Other ones that I have a lot of contrarian opinions on would be Count of Monte Cristo, Hyperion, a little bit with First Law, but I mean, First Law is 4 out of 5, so it's definitely not a hate. That's about it. I recently DNF'd. 2 of them, I guess, that I DNF'd that are popular are Something Wicked This Way Comes and Tigana. That is probably the most unpopular one, would be Tigana DNF, but I am giving that one a second try soon. Favorite childhood reads? I didn't read any as a kid, so I guess I'm just going to go with Dr. Seuss. mean, those Dr. Seuss books take like 5 minutes even as a kid. So we'll just go with that. I didn't start reading until I was an adult. So what's a book that changed your life? Absolutely no book has changed my life. Sorry to say that. Maybe you can say A Song of Ice and Fire books, because once season 1 came out, I read all the books that were out, not like really, really fast, but I still read them eventually. And then that just got me to realize, hey, I can actually read stuff that I enjoy, because that was never the case in like high school and growing up and everything. It was just I had an aversion to reading, but since I saw the show and I was like, hey, all these books are out, I've heard amazing things, I'll give it a try. And then, so I guess Song of Ice and Fire got me somewhat into reading, but I wouldn't say it was life changing. What book did you hate at school? All of them. Done. A feel good book? Any middle grade book, probably. I don't know what other feel good. I don't read like contemporary emotional type books. Like darker side of books, they don't like you feel good at all. So I don't really have many of those. So yeah, any of the middle grade ones that I have read and mentioned already. Book that makes you cry. Never has a book made me cry. So I guess the closest thing that comes off the top of my head would be Morning Star, book 3 in Red Rising. If you know, you know. What's your favorite reading snack? I don't eat and read. I just think that's too much going on. Even when I have my Kindle, like I'm not going to get like favorite book. I'm not going to get the pages dirty. I'm a snacker. Most like it, how I eat is either like a large portion and I eat and I'll watch. That's when I watch my YouTube videos, or when I snack, I'm snacking. So there's stuff going on, and I can't be like, I have to look at myself eating and then the page, and then I'm constantly trying to find my place. So I don't snack and read. I do drink sometimes, like whether it's just a like regular non-alcoholic drink or just a drink. So I guess that would be a snack, a drink, an adult beverage. What's your favorite reading position? Sitting down. Yes. Okay. Natural light or no, we're not talking about the beer. Natural light or lamplight? Natural light. Outside or inside? Probably inside. I mean, if it was ideal conditions, outside. I just love being outside. A patio, nice weather, sunshine, a breeze. As long as I'm comfortable. But I get hot really easily. So if I'm outside and it's warm out, then I'll sweat some. But like if I could just be outside in like a calm, nice place. But if there's a bunch of flies around, or if it's too cold or something, then I probably don't last as long. But if it's nice out, when we lived in San Diego, we used to go outside and sit and read, and it was fantastic out there. Breaking the cover, keeping it smooth, whatever I got to do to read it. If it's, some of these smaller mass market paperbacks or even paperbacks in general, I'll crack it. I don't really care as long as I can read it. If I'm reading a mass market paperback or even like a paperback in general, I'm going to hold it, do whatever I can to hold it with one hand. I don't care about the spine preservation. Those aren't going to be that great limited editions anyway. Do you read in other languages? Nope. What book series do you want to finish this year? Senlin, 100%. I will be finishing Senlin because I'm doing one book a month. Just started book 3. Book 4 happens next month. Maybe the Powder Mage. I've only read the first book, but I need to get into the second and third book. And I think that's the only ones that I'll actually want to or realistically finish. Anything else would be an accident. What book release are you most excited about right now? I don't really track book releases, especially because I typically don't start a series that's unfinished. So like, I mean, the book 4 of Senlin I'm reading up into the release date of that. So like, yeah, sure. That's going to be one. The final book of The Expanse, I caught up 2 months ago to Tiamat's War or Wrath or whatever, which is the second to last books. Then the last book comes out, I think, in November. So those are probably the two, because I've already read up until that point, and I planned to read up into the point of the final release. That's kind of how I like to do things. I'm not going to read a whole series, then have to wait 2 years for the next book to come out. Looking at you, Stormlight. Do you have a favorite book influencer? Alan, Mike are probably two of the biggest ones that I've watched for a while. Mike got me into Crichton and King. Alan's gotten me into Senlin I already had on my list, but I wouldn't be reading Shadow of the Apt if it wasn't for Alan. So 100% those two for sure. Yeah, I mean, so many people out there have, every time I watch somebody's video, I mean, Lauren, she was on my channel once, and she reads a bunch of different ones that like sci-fi stuff that I haven't heard of that I put on my list. Leslie has impacted me recently because of Nightmare Land and some other mystery and creepy ones. So everybody kind of contributes to each other's, I think. You have a channel, blog, or social media feed? Yes. I mean, here we go. There it is. And then 50 is not a question, it is a tag. So I think everybody's done this tag. If you haven't done it, then feel free to do it. Let's hear your answers, see what you think about mine. I don't even know how to tag people on YouTube anyway, but there's rapid fire book tag. I tried to do rapid fire. Some of them I couldn't even answer, or I just took a while to figure them out, but there's mine. So let me know what you think. But lastly, if you have any questions for my Q&A that you want to ask me, whatever you want to ask me anything, leave them in the comments down below or reach out to me however you feel like you can. My Instagram link is also down below, so you can send it to me through there. But yeah, let me know what you got for me and we'll chat later.